Welcome back to Serving Up Plumbing with David Butler. Today, we're going to be talking about CPVC. Now, I know a lot of people have heard of PVC out there, but there's not a lot of people that know what CPVC is or the difference between the two if you're not a plumber. So today, we're going to find out what the difference is. But first, make sure and hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up if you like this video, and let me know in the comments what you think about other videos you'd like to see. Let's talk about CPVC. Here we have the most common CPVC that you see in the Dallas-Fort Worth area. As you can see, I've got my rubber gloves on today. Putting together CPVC can get a little messy. We have all the different types of fittings. Just like with copper and PEX and everything else, in CPVC, they make all our types of fittings. This particular pipe is made for hot and cold water. Now, normal PVC cannot be used for hot water. It's only rated for cold water. This CPVC and all CPVC is rated for hot water usage also to a certain temperature. Now this happens to be what we call FlowGuard Gold CPVC. Again, this is what we use the most in this area. It uses FlowGuard Gold glue or solvent cement. And I have purple primer here. But what I have it here for is just to tell you this particular cement does not use primer. You do not need primer when you put together CPVC with FlowGuard Gold cement. If you're using an older type, there was some orange cement that was used to put CPVC together. That did require a primer. And as you can see on this primer, it's for CPVC or PVC, and it's purple. Why do we use purple primer? And we'll talk about this more where we have PVC. Purple primer is for the inspectors. They do make clear primer, but when you put purple primer on, the inspectors know that you did use primer on the fitting. So let's set the purple primer to the side since we're not going to be using it today. All right, as I said, we have 90s, we have 45s, we have unions. We use a lot of CPVC on temperature and pressure relief valves in the area, and there's not a lot of residential 1 and 2 family dwellings that have it, but an awful lot of our apartments use the FlowGuard CPVC for the entire homes, piping the entire place. So, how do we cut it? Well, as we had before, we had the PEX cutters, and we showed these. These are called ratchet cutters. As you see, they ratchet down. It gives them a little more strength. We open them like that to get them open. We put it around it, cradle it really well right there, and then you squeeze down, and it cuts right through. You get a pretty good cut right there. Now, that's going to go in there. We do not need to primer this. Now, if it was real filthy, had grease or dirt or mud on it, you'd want to take a good rag and wipe it off good. So, our glue or cement, we're actually going to solvent weld this. This is gold, just like the name. We want to put right inside the fitting. Try not to make a mess of it everywhere. And on the pipe itself, just the depth that we're going to go. Then we put it in, give it a twist, and let it set. We can wipe off the excess glue that we have so it looks nice and neat. And that's how you put together CPVC FlowGuard. You need to make sure when you glue this together that you hold it together for 30 seconds to keep it from sliding out. And remember too, temperature makes a difference on this. If it's below 60 degrees and a lot colder than that, you may have to hold it together longer and let it set longer. Before you can pressurize this, for cold water, the recommendation of the manufacturer say at least 1 hour. I would recommend longer than that. And of course, the larger the pipe, the cooler the temperature, you need to set it longer. If it's very hot outside and it's not real humid, it's good and dry, then it might cure out quicker. But I would never turn water pressure on it faster than 1 hour for cold water. And for hot water, the factory recommends that you only do it after 6 hours. So make sure and let it set 6 hours before hot water and at least 1 hour before cold water. And at that point, it's supposed to be able to handle 180 PSI. As I mentioned, the longer you can let it set, the better off you are. Let's put one more together here. Again, make sure you put glue on both. Do not let your glue dry. You need to make sure that it's wet when you put it together. And put it together and turn it It's always good too to let your lettering be showing on top. Inspectors oftentimes like to see the listing and labeling. Make sure it's held together for 30 seconds, and then you've got a good solid joint. In an hour, we can put cold water on it. In 6 hours, we can put hot water on it. If it's colder, make sure and let it go longer. And that's how CPVC works. It's an inexpensive pipe compared to a lot of things. It's much cheaper than copper. This is actually copper tubing size, just as is PEX is. PEX is copper tubing size, and copper, of course, is copper tubing size. These three materials all work with what we call Sharkbites also. They can be put together. You could put a piece of PEX together with a piece of CPVC with a Sharkbite. You could put a piece of copper with CPVC or PEX with a Sharkbite. We'll talk about that in another video though. One last thing, you notice this one has a stainless steel adapter epoxied into this fitting. Well, when you're dealing with temperature and pressure relief valves, you have to use a stainless steel male or female adapter screwed into your temperature and pressure relief valve on a water heater to meet code. Because these male adapters are not rated for the hot water. It says right here, cold water only on these male adapters. So anywhere you're dealing with extremely hot water, you have to put the female adapter with the stainless steel or the male adapter with the stainless steel. And that's it for CPVC. It's very easy to install. It's inexpensive. I have a few reservations about it, especially with things like shower valves and that sort of thing. My concern is I'm always worried about these breaking or these fittings breaking. And of course, if this freezes, it's not going to expand much. It's going to split and crack pretty quick. So I'm not a big fan of CPVC on a lot of houses. I'm fine with it on temperature and pressure relief valves. There are a lot of areas now where we're having to use 3/4 by 1 inch reducers or increasers as it would be to make sure that we're going to a 1 inch CPVC discharge. For years they've said that the inside diameter of this is not large enough to meet copper requirements. Therefore, you increase the size of it to 1 inch and you have a larger diameter pipe so that on a temperature and pressure relief valve, you don't have any restriction of discharge in the event that you have a failure of your water heater. That's it for CPVC. Now you know the difference between CPVC and PVC. You know how to join the pipes together and the different uses for it. So I hope you found this video helpful. I hope you're very educated on it now, and I look forward to seeing you next time. Make sure and hit that subscribe button, give it a thumbs up if you like it, and tell your friends the Butler did it.